Where are you currently in your journey? Hey there, I'm Grandmaster Max Illingworth, and in this video, I want to share with you a nice metaphor that I feel really can give you a great perspective on your chess improvement journey and you constantly working and practicing toward your big goals. And it lies in the pawn. So, what do you think about when you think of the pawn in chess? For some of you, you might remember Philidor's classic saying of pawns are the soul of chess. And he was so far ahead of his time that everybody laughed at him and said, "Oh, Philidor, old man, you should stick to your music. You don't know what you're talking about. Pawns are worthless pieces to be thrown away willy-nilly while we go for checkmate, whatever it takes." You probably have someone in your life who talks to you like that, right? So the thing with the pawn is, yes, the pawn starts out not very valuable as a least valuable piece. But if you ask any master of a skill, doesn't matter what skill it is, they all started as beginners, as just a pawn, it may seem, learning about what's going on. But over time, as that pawn advances, every square it advances, it gets one step closer to queening. And when you do finally queen the pawn, well, suddenly that promoted pawn becomes the most powerful piece on the board, right? So that's the way I see our chess journey to achieve our big chess dream and our life journey in general. For some of you, maybe that's the same thing. Maybe the most important thing in the world for you is to become a chess master, chess champion, grandmaster, and so forth. So with the pawn, there's actually another side to it, because one thing you hear many people say, I know I used to say this to myself, and maybe you say this to yourself as well, is, oh, I just don't have enough resources. I mean, if I had more money, if I had more time, if I had a lot more energy, if I just had the right help, then I would be really going places. I'd be at a much higher level right now. And that can sometimes be a reason then for us not to kind of do the things that we need to actually be resourceful and look for solutions. I mean, the pawn has to be resourceful in chess in the sense that, well, if it captured the same way as it moved, as the other pieces do, well, then you just have these pawns kind of like butting heads where, I won't move forward because you'll take me, and you won't move forward because I'll take you. And it'll be like these fists, like kind of like the kings with the opposition, actually, is what it would resemble. However, the pawn, because it was so underestimated, because it was so undervalued, it learned some tricks to give it an advantage over the other pieces. It learned how to capture diagonally, to not just be fixed in, well, I am the pawn and I only move forward, 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 forward. Well, okay, to be fair, it does still move and capture forward, but it actually captures diagonally rather than moving straight, as the chess players watching this will already know. And there's another thing as well about the pawn that you might relate to, that I mean, you've probably been in a situation where you had nothing to lose, right? Where, say, no one really expected you to do really well and to excel. And in a way, that almost was an advantage for you, right? Where you didn't have any pressure, where you didn't think, maybe, what if I screw up? Because it was a situation where, say, it was worst case scenario and you did screw up. Well, you didn't really lose anything anyway from that, but you got a valuable lesson. And it's kind of like that with the pawn, that because the pawn is less valuable than the other pieces, then it gives it a certain power in attacking and defending, where, say, you're the pawn and you attack that queen. Well, you know that that queen is going to be particularly afraid of you, where it's not just going to sit there and chill like it might if the other queen went and attacked it. But the queen's going to say, no, I can't just give up my life for a mere pawn. That would be completely beneath me. So the queen will move away. And then it can allow you to take control of things. We're able to sort of kick the big guys around, or in this case, a powerful queen around. Get some momentum going, build on that momentum, and maybe even get your own promotion. And it also works for defending as well, where the piece might think, oh, I'm so powerful, I don't need the other pieces for help. I know my strength, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to win this game. But then, say you're the knight, and you get attacked by the queen, then you get defended by the pawn. And the knight's really grateful that it's defended by the pawn, because it knows that it's much less likely to get taken when it's defended by a lesser value piece than a more valuable piece. Where it's like, it doesn't matter necessarily how many times the pieces are attacked and defended necessarily. What matters actually which pieces are attacking and defending. Where you might have a pawn that's only defended once by another pawn and is attacked by 5 pieces, say 2 rooks, 2 knights, and a bishop. But none of those pieces will probably dare to take that pawn, because they know that giving up their life, that their life is worth more than just 2 measly pawns, and especially 1 measly pawn. So I think you can sort of see how chess is not just something that kind of makes us smarter, but it's actually a discipline or a sport, science, art, competition that actually teaches us a lot about life as well, when we're open to learning those lessons, when we have the wisdom to realize that what we learned maybe as children may not necessarily be true right now, or at the very least it's our truth, but that doesn't necessarily make it right or wrong, as it were. And it's sort of like that with chess. You might remember your first chess coach maybe taught you some principle, and maybe they said, say, never double the pawns or something like that. But then as you got better, you realized that not only was that not always true, but there are actually some times where it's actually better to double your pawns. I mean, as humans, we're naturally reluctant to make some sort of change, but life is always changing. The chess position is always changing. And the one that can adapt and embrace that change is the one who is most likely to be successful, be it in the chess game or in life. So this video was a bit longer than I expected, but I'm really grateful I could share this metaphor of the pawn with you. And my challenge for you with this video is to ask you, in what ways can you embrace being a pawn in your own life, where you maybe realize the challenges in front of you, maybe realize you're perhaps not at the level you want to be yet, but that you're really resourceful, you're really courageous, and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get that promotion at the end. So how are you going to incorporate that into your chess training, into your life habits, and into even the way that you think about chess and life in general? I look forward to seeing your answers. I'll see you in the next video.